Good morning, 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 everybody. I hope everybody's day is off to a great start. I'm thankful to be in the land of the living this morning. I'm thankful to be amongst the living this morning. I'm thankful that God woke me up this morning and gave me another chance. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Grace Amber. I come on different platforms. Whenever God gives me a word to share, I come on and I share it with you. So really quick this morning, happy Thursday. The week is going right on by. Thank God it's almost Friday. Happy Thursday. I want to talk to you real quick from the topic of who cares? Who cares? Who cares? What am I talking about today? Let's jump in. So you often hear this saying, and you've heard me talk about it numerous times, where people will say that they see somebody looking for love in all the wrong places, or we're looking for love in all the wrong places. Well, not only are we looking for love in all the wrong places, and when people say that, they mean that literally, that we are going here, there, and yonder, every place looking for love, and we're looking for it in all the wrong places. The love that we're looking for, we end up disappointed every time, because the love that we are craving is actually the love that can only come from God. And so what people will do is they'll go from this relationship to that relationship, to this relationship, to that relationship. When that doesn't work, all right, let me try homosexuality. That didn't work. Okay, let me cut my hair. That didn't work. Okay, let me turn into a baddie. Let me get the bundles and the 4-inch nails and the BBL, whatever I need to do. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me cut my hair like this. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me grow my hair out. Okay, that's not working. They still rejected me. Okay, let me get a mustache. Let me see if that'll work. People will go to extreme lengths and extreme measures to get the love that they're craving. Problem is they get disappointed every time, because the love that they're craving is the love of God. And obviously you're not going to get the love of God from man. You can only get that from God. But God gave me a revelation about caring, and how many of us are plagued with a feeling that nobody cares. Nobody cares. And you'll see this. You'll see it in people. You'll see people and they look sad and you can't understand why. You see people and they have an outburst. Specifically, God gave me a revelation about outbursts. You'll see somebody in a store at the register, and suddenly you see them blink and snap and go off, and they have a loud outburst, an angry outburst. They might lash out at somebody, or they might hit somebody, cuss somebody out, knock the stuff off the line, do all kind of stuff that you see people do. And we look at that person and we say, my God, I can't believe they did that. But if you're somebody like me who has worked with a lot of people, or if you're somebody like me who's been that person that went to the store and you needed money and you went to go cash a check. I'll never forget this. There was one day I was so low on money, me and this crazy ex that I used to date. I was so low on money that I had a check. And I took it to the pig, which is Piggly Wiggly here, to cash it. And they told me they couldn't cash it. And I can't remember why. It wasn't that the check was bad. It was actually a work check. But they said that they couldn't cash it. But the woman has such a nonchalant attitude when she told me that she couldn't cash it, that I blanked on the lady. I said, you know what? You put your hand on, touch the check. Put your hand on the check today. And the woman backed up from the counter and did not put her hand on the check. Now, in my mind, if she puts her hand on this check, since you don't care, right? That's the inward. This is what people feel inside. God looks at the inside. God knows what's in the heart. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. And so to people, they just see an angry woman. But what they don't realize is you see a woman who is low on money, and if I don't get this check, at that time, my faith was so low, and honestly, I was living a lifestyle of sin, so how can I expect God to provide for me in mess? God don't bless mess. But what people saw, they thought they saw an angry woman, but what they didn't realize is that they saw a person who has so much stacked against her, a person who has so much weight on her, that they needed, a person desperately needed that money, and a person told them no and acted like they didn't care. Thus, the outburst that lady at the pig received, right? And you see it in the videos in Walmart where somebody goes off. You just see this all the time. Many of us are plagued with a feeling that people don't care. A lot of us are plagued with a feeling of nobody cares. A lot of us are plagued with a feeling of who cares what I'm going through? Who cares what I feel on the inside that people can't see? Oftentimes we feel that nobody cares, but many times we want somebody to care about things that they can't see. They can't see the internal battles that we fight on an everyday basis. They just see a person coming to work and speaking, a person going to go take care of the kids, a person making sure that everything is done, but they can't see the battles on the inside. Many of us are plagued with the feeling that nobody cares about what we're going through. Nobody cares how we feel. Nobody cares about how hard we work. And many people will minimize a hard day's work, but you'll find that the people who are minimizing a hard day's work are the people who either don't work or don't work anymore, and they've grown so far removed from what it feels like to go to work every day that they minimize other people who are in the stage of life that they have to go to work every day. It's people who feel unappreciated when you come home and you're constantly going above and beyond, and the thank you that you get, you really just understand that it's a thank you out of necessity, not a thank you out of a genuine part of a person's heart. When the kids tell you thank you, they tell you thank you because they know that you have trained them to say thank you. And if they don't say thank you, they're liable to get knocked upside their head. You know that it's not from a point or a gesture of genuine gratitude. It's just out of formality. Many of us are plagued with the feeling that nobody cares. Many of us are fighting feelings that nobody cares. And God says, not so. He cares for you. Let's look into this thing, because we often talk about how people are looking for love in all the wrong places, but oftentimes we are looking for care in all the wrong places. Along with that, we want man to care like only God can. We want man to care about things that they have no knowledge of. We want man to be able to look at us smiling and look beneath and look through the smiles and what seems to be happiness and to see the pain on the inside. We want man to look at us and be able to tell that we feel unappreciated. We want man to look at us, to be able to look at us and tell that we feel unloved. We want man to be able to look at us and tell that we are struggling. The problem is that man is not God. And so man looks at the outward appearance, but it's God who looks at the heart. And so many of us are walking around with inward feelings that nobody cares or who cares for us. In actuality, what we're looking for a care. Just like people look for love that can only come from God, we are looking for a level of caring that can only come from God. Let's go here. Let's look at the definition of care. The first definition that I thought was unique was feel concern or interest, attach importance to something, look after and provide the needs of. So we are going to humans and we're expecting them to feel concern or interest for the things that we are dealing with inwardly. And then when we don't get the feeling of concern and interest from man, we then have an outburst and we then begin to go in our shell and feel like nobody cares or who cares. But what we don't realize is this is a trick of the enemy, because we're expecting people to care about things that they don't even know about. We're expecting for people to show interest for us when we're grieving internally, but yet externally we put on a front like everything is fine. Yet externally we seem happy. Yet externally we are eating 3 meals a day. We are going to work. We are functioning just fine. Internally we are going through agony, but we expect for a man who can only look at the outward appearance, to give us care and concern for something that's going on inside. The problem isn't internally. The problem is that man can't see what's going on internally. Only God can. We want someone to attach importance to something. And here's the funny thing about humans is that they can value something today, but tomorrow it can mean nothing to them. You loved that toy when you was a kid. Christmas morning, you had the utmost value for it. Come Christmas afternoon and Christmas night, the value has gone down. I got my daughter, little Annie. She has these two dolls, Sally and Amy, right? Well, they're life-size dolls, and these dolls have been with us for years. Well, guess what? Sally and Amy were of utmost importance to Annie at one point in time. Now, Sally and Amy are over there at my auntie's house where they now reside permanently, and they sit in the room by themselves over there. Why? What has happened? Annie once had value for Sally and Amy, to the point where she wanted them here at all times. And God forbid if she left it somewhere, we would have to turn around and go get them. Now the value has changed. And now Sally and Amy over there at somebody else's house, and I don't even hear Sally and Amy's name anymore. What has happened? A human has attached importance to something. The problem is, as humans, our feelings fluctuate. The problem with humans is we will attach value to something and value something, but the problem with humans is that our feelings are fickle, and what happens is we can feel one way today and tomorrow not care at all. Next definition of care. You want somebody to look after and provide the needs of. The scripture tells you that our Father will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory, right? Our Father. But yet here we go again, looking to humans to do something that only God can do. Can a human provide for us? Absolutely. If you're married, your wife will meet your needs, a good wife. And if you're married, your husband, a good husband, will meet your needs to the best of his ability. But he cannot, or he or she cannot meet all of your needs. Why? Because it is impossible for another human to meet all of your needs. There will always be something that the things that you see on earth, like money and humans, there will always be something or some need that they won't be able to fulfill. A human, materialistic things that you can see can only go so far and are temporary according to the scripture. And so we are looking to humans to do something that only God can do. We are walking around saying nobody cares. The enemy has got us in our head all day long. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You walk into work, you say good morning, you smile at everybody, you go in your office, you close the door and you start crying, you put your Visine on, you come back out and you smile at everybody and you laugh and you talk and you go back in your office and you cry again. And then while you're in there crying, the enemy is telling you that nobody cares about you. What you don't realize is this is deceit and a trick of the enemy, and that most people don't even know what you're going through. People hear you in there sniffing and they think you just sneezed and got allergies. People hear you in there sniffing and they think that you have just sneezed or that your allergies are messing up. People see you come out with the red eye and they think that you are sleep deprived and do not even know that you are crying. You are expecting from humans what only God can do. You are expecting from man what only God can do. Let me give you the scripture and then I'm going to let you go today. 1 Peter, 5th chapter, go down to the 7th verse. Cast all your anxiety on him, talking about God, because he cares for you. Cast all your anxiety, not just some of them. You can't take some of your anxieties and say, okay, well, Bae can meet this need, Mama can meet this need, Susie on the job can meet this need, and then God, I want you to meet this need. It says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. The care that you are looking for, you are the same way that we are looking for love in all the wrong places. The care that you're looking for is a care that only you can get from God. And if you go down to the next verse, it says, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Don't let it be you is my favorite saying. Don't let it be you. When the enemy comes to you and tell you that nobody cares, it's a lie, and that is a trick of the enemy. God cares. Cast all your cares on him because he cares for you. Don't you go home and try to end it all because the enemy keeps telling you that nobody cares for you. The battles that you are facing and fighting, nobody even knows about it but you and God, and you're expecting people on the outside to know of things that only God can know because it's inside. Cast all of your cares on God because he cares for you. The battles that you're facing, the battles that you're fighting, the feelings that you are fighting, the lies that the enemy keeps coming and putting in your head, God knows about it. And the problem that you're facing is you don't feel comfort because you are going to humans to fix something and to comfort something that only God can. Cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. I love you. Happy Thursday. I'm Grace Amber. I hope that word blessed you. I'll be right back on tomorrow with another word, good Lord willing.